Put the like in the last one. That's it. All right. So today we're talking about how cleanliness is godliness and why filth is demonic. Most religion, the aim of it, the purpose of it is to keep people spiritually immature. A spiritually mature world is a golden age, period, hands down. There are a lot of conventions that we have in society right now that keep things primitive. They keep humans in a worm-like state, and that is by design. God, I'm going to be perfectly honest. God is not like doesn't care. Okay, God does not care that people stay in a worm-like state because God is eternal. Okay, God is outside of time. God is everywhere. God's not sweating it. Okay, but there are forces just below God that do have a vested interest in humans either progressing and becoming exceptional or staying as worms for eternity. Like I said, God could care less. Okay, God. I mean, there's aspects of God that is truly, deeply, unconditionally loving, and that's why God doesn't get involved with it. So, but to lower energies like Jesus and some of the others, like perhaps some of the archangels, they do have interests in humans evolving and getting to the next level and going up the ladder. And so there's that. And so cleanliness is much closer to the Godhead. It's much closer to divine energy. Okay. And so, like I said, there is a concerted effort to keep humans in a worm-like state. I do not know why we would ever want worms to get out of that state, but I don't know. I feel like humans should just stay worms and eventually go extinct. But I'm a human now, so whatever. I guess I need to care. Uh, I mean that, man. Sometimes there's some days I'm just like, if there was a disease that wiped out 99.9% of the human population, how would I feel about that? I try to have love and care. I try to feel bad about that. I try to go, oh, I hate it. But I'm like, well, what? Okay, 99.9% of the population is what? That's, how much is that? It's like 800 and something million, you know? So that's still, that almost leaves a billion people. I mean, no, it doesn't. Let's see. A bit better with my math. We'll say 99%, okay? Hundreds will be 8 million, billion, and then you take 1 8. Yeah. No, it'd be like 80, I think like 80 million people or something like that. 100 million. It'd be close to 100 million people left. Like all the people I care about and know would still be alive, so I wouldn't care. I'll be honest. It would be a lot more space, but I'm not on that trip. Let's save everybody. Let's help everybody rise up. That's not what Apex Humanity is about. Okay, we're not about helping everybody. We're only about helping our own. So this is just what it is. So cleanliness is next to godliness. It is godliness because it's harmonious, right? And I know it sounds crazy, but if you think about nature, lions killing and ripping apart gazelle, that's harmonious. It's actually part of the structure of life. And so God doesn't go, I can't stand the bloodshed. God created that. Like there are people that live in this fantasy world where they think that like lions were in heaven eating bananas. There's a lion in heaven right now eating bananas. No. Okay? If they're in heaven, they're probably feasting on light. All right? Let's just be honest. Okay? So I mean, if you're gonna go there, go there. But here in the world, God designed them to rip the throats out of baby gazelles. Get used to it. Being an apex human means that you're not groveling in the dirt, you're not eating shit like the majority of the worms. You transcended that. You become like, there's this Campbell. Joseph Campbell had this concept. This is not Joseph Campbell only, it was Carl Jung and many others. Talked about the worm becoming a dragon. There's an allegory of serpents, walking in the dirt and becoming dragons again, because we used to be dragons and we lost our wings, we lost our legs, we became serpents or worms. And then we became dragons again. A serpent actually is a dragon, but then we became like basically worms. And so that's what most humans are. They're worms. And so this message is not for most people. This is for the 1% of the 1%. So that's what, it's 0.001% or something like that, or 0.01%. All right. So cleanliness is next to godliness. And you cannot be an apex human. You cannot be a child of the Most High and be dirty. You can't stink. You can't have an unwashed ass. You have to be just like, not only is your body clean, but your mind is clean. And I know I use a lot of profanity, so maybe I'm demonstrating poor hygiene, but I'm trying to use it strategically here. So pardon me. But cleanliness is godliness. And a demonstration of that is, look at the Hebrews in the Bible. I mean, they were very big on clean. Growing up, every single Friday, we washed everything. Everything had to be super clean before the Sabbath. Like, Sabbath was Friday night to Saturday night. That's Sabbath was for me growing up. So uh, cleanliness was a sign that you respected yourself and you respected the presence of God. Okay? And so you took your time to cleanse your life of the demonic forces. So today we're going to talk about, why is cleanliness godliness? What is filth and why is it demonic? And we're going to talk about, uh, then we're going to talk about how you can overcome it. 3 steps, easy steps. There's a lot of activity in the chat, so let's see what's going on. Thank you. Hello, Coco Nutter. Okay, what's up? Was I a dragon? Can you see this, buddy? All right. This person really wants me to engage with them. All right. Oh, my bad. It's okay. It's okay. I was about to cuss you out, but I won't. I'm learning to be. I've always been patient with people, but then sometimes I want to take people's heads off, and I almost did that. So I'm not going to do that to you, Coconutter. Welcome to the chat. Thank you for joining. I appreciate your questions. Yes, you were a dragon, but when you were a child, all of us were dragons when we were little children. But then our parents and our society clipped our wings and cut off our legs, and we learned to grovel in the dirt like all the other worms. And most people say, you know what? I kind of like not having wings. I kind of like slogging around in the dirt, groveling around, begging God for crumbs. I kind of like that. But apex humans are not those people. And so if you're an apex human, you're like, fuck all that. I want to live an exceptional life. I don't want to be a servant in heaven. I'd rather be a king in hell. And I know that's a terrible thing. The Bible never encourages that. But Jesus knows, um, you know, there's a lot of bullish out there. Okay. So anyway, what else you got to say? Okay. I thought you could say, yeah, I know. I could see it kind of, but I was trying to get through my points. I want to breathe fire. That would be sick. Yeah, you can breathe fire. I mean, look, breathing fire, you know, look, saying profanity is breathing fire. I know I breathe fire every day. So we're all dragons in one way or another, you know. All right, and then Ram Mejbon says, what do you think about politics nowadays? I think Donald Trump is a servant of the Most High. He's gonna clean out the fucking bullshit in Washington, D.C. But I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. Donald Trump is the most liberal president we're gonna have for about 100 years, if this country lasts that long. I don't think it's gonna last more than another, I don't know, 20 or 50 years. Maybe not even 20 years. But he's the most, all these people that are hating him and think that he's the devil, they're going to be praying. All these atheist, crazy people, they're like, oh, I don't believe in God. They're going to immediately believe in God and pray for him to come back in our next president. Because our next national leader is going to make Donald Trump look like Jesus Christ. And I think Donald Trump is an exceptional president. I'm saying, as far as like, they think that Donald Trump is heavy-handed right now. The next person that's coming through, whether it's a male or a female, it doesn't matter who, they're going to really take off heads. So, if you're of that part that's scared of Donald Trump and you think he's doing all these terrible things by deporting people and changing all these laws, just get ready. Get ready. You're going to pray to Jesus that he comes back. All these people, they were hating on George Bush. And then when Donald Trump came, they were like, oh, the good old days of Bush. It's going to be like that times a million when the next person comes through. So enjoy the Trump years, because he's the last president. I think we might go back to a monarchy. I'm hoping we do. Off with their heads. So why is cleanliness godliness? Because cleanliness is a reflection of harmony. It promotes mental clarity. It encourages mental health. And it is divine. It's harmonious. When you go into wealthy neighborhoods, when you go into rich neighborhoods, you immediately feel more comfortable, unless you're psycho. Like if you feel like the police are following you or something, then there's nothing you can do. Nothing I can do for you. But if you have a functioning brain and you're walking through like a very wealthy neighborhood, you just feel more calm. I can tell you, when I was living in Atherton or Hillsboro, or because I lived in all these communities, Um, or any of the other nice ones. Newport Beach. I never lived in Newport Beach, but I visited it. You just feel good on the inside. Like, and I'm speaking of California, but any wealthy Fairfax, Virginia, I don't know, Anne Arundel, well, not Anne Arundel, anyway, Greenwich. Think of some of the richest places in your country or in your region, and you go there and you just kind of like just get out of your park your car, someone just walk through. You just feel better. And they're large trees, they're beautiful historic buildings. You just feel safe. And that's divine. That's heavenly. That's godly. Okay? Why is it godly? Because it aligns with natural harmony. Beauty, why do we find ourselves attracted to it? Because it is godly. And godliness is beauty, beauty is godliness. And we've been kind of tricked into believing that um, like that godliness is separate from real things in real life. And then we look at beautifully cut diamonds or gold things and very well done workmanship, and we say, oh, it's so beautiful, and then we think that it's not godly. It's not possible for it to be um, ungodly if it comes from the source being. I mean, if it's beautiful, if it's exceptional, if it's apex, if it's top of the line, it comes from God, automatic, hands down. So let's see who's in the chat. I haven't showered since 2019. Then you are demonic, my friend. Okay, just kidding. I know you're. That wouldn't be possible. You probably okay. If you didn't shower, you probably bathed. Okay. You're very good at entertaining me. Thank you. I sub to you. Thanks. I appreciate it, Coconutter. And then Jackson said hi. Welcome, welcome. I like the way you spelled Jackson. JXN. So yes, God is cleanliness. God is beauty. God is harmony. God is all those things. Anyone that thinks God is anything but that doesn't understand what God is. They think that God is a sky phantom, and that is not the case. So when you find beauty, when you find harmony, when you find connection and pleasure and all these good things, prosperity, you find God. Now, it doesn't matter who has it. Doesn't matter if they call themselves a Satanist. If they have a perfectly manicured yard and a beautiful home and perfect fixtures and harmony and symmetry and divine sacred geometry and all this other stuff, and it's all beautiful and harmonious, that's divine. That's godly. It doesn't matter what people say out of their mouth. Okay. By their works you shall know them, as Jesus said. You look at a fig tree, it's not going to give you grapes, it's not going to give you thorns, it's going to give you figs. So Jesus gave us all the codes on how to live life, and the church came and twisted his message. But you just look at life and look at reality and deal with it. And you say, okay, this feels genuinely pleasurable in my body, like sex. People are trying to act like that's a bad thing because it feels good. It makes no fucking sense, right? It's a wonderful thing. And guess what? Not everybody likes the same kind of sexual experience or stuff like that. Not everybody likes that. And by the way, not everybody likes sex. So like if we all are tapped into who we really are, how God made us, we're going to know what works for us. We're going to know what our divine design is. And you're going to feel the beauty and the harmony and all the other good stuff, okay? So what is filth? Let's see. Ron Mejban is back, or Mabon. It could be Mabon if it's. What do you feel about the Illuminati? We created the Illuminati. We put them in place, and then some sort of parasitical group got in and did this. And when I say we, the organization that I'm a part of, okay, I didn't do it because I wasn't here at that time. All right. So the Illuminati initially were very good, and I don't know. It's like they don't really exist, but they do. It's kind of weird. There's so much lies around that, and there's so many plants talking conspiracy bullshit about the Illuminati. It's just disgusting. I don't even like to talk about them because I'm 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 not going to talk about it. Okay. So what is filth? Filth is anything that goes contrary to life. I mean, filth is demonic by its nature, and demonic forces are anything that goes contrary to life. So again, like I always say, and 100 million times, I'm going to say it 100 million times more. So if you get tired of it, I'm sorry. Life flows in a certain way. God flows in a certain way, right? It flows and moves forward. Anything that's stagnant in that flow or anything that goes opposite to the flow is demonic. Hands down, full stop, right? And so I always use the example of bleach. You have a cup of bleach on the table. Is it demonic or is it satanic or whatever? Or is it divine or godly? Depends on its utilization. If you drink that bleach, that's demonic. If you use the bleach to clean the table so that your table's hygienic, then it's divine, it's godly, right? It's all about utilization. So filth generally is demonic. Okay, it's generally demonic. It's where you get putrid smells. If you don't wash your body, you smell awful. One of the most offensive things to me is to smell a dirty person. I don't care. I mean, it's just I just so am angered by it. Unless it's like a baby with a dirty diaper, I guess I don't mind that because they can't help it. But just the human filth smell, even my body. If my body smells, I feel extremely uncomfortable. I feel like it's a demonic possession. So anything that is filth, that is dirtiness, that is uncleanliness is demonic. And proof of that is in the Bible when the Bible uses the term Beelzebub. Beelzebub. So Beelzebub, the name Beelzebub means Lord of that which flies. It really means Lord of the Flies. Beelzebub is the Lord of the Flies. And so the Lord of the Flies was, so in ancient Mesopotamia, they deified everything. And so when they would see a carcass or a pile of feces or a pile of trash or something like that, there was always these flies flying around it. And so Beelzebub, Bel means God, Zebub means fly. It still means fly in Middle East or Semitic languages, Zebub, Zebub. Or anyway. Um, Anytime they saw flies flying around something, they were like, okay, there's a spirit that inhabits that. And where you usually find flies, near rotting, putrid fruits, vegetables, shit, um, compost piles, horse manure, dead bodies, right? You always see flies and maggots and stuff like that. And they were like, okay, there's a god that rules that, and his name was Beelzebub. Now, to the Hebrews, who were very clean people, who believed in cleaning your body and cleaning all that stuff, they were like, yeah, okay, that's a demonic god. That's an evil god. That's a god against our God. Because our God wants you to clean your body all the time. If a woman is on her period, she can't be around anybody because back then they didn't have like washing facilities. So they were very clean people, the Hebrews, because they came from Egypt. And the Egyptians were very clean people. And so anything that was associated with flies, feces, dead, rotting stuff, they considered bad, wrong. And so Beelzebub was evil. He was the bad guy. He wasn't Satan, because Satan and Beelzebub are completely different. Beelzebub is a completely different god. Satan is Hillel. He's one of the angels in heaven. He's still in heaven. He's still, God doesn't have any problem with him. A lot of people don't know that. But anyway, and yeah, Satan and Lucifer are different too, but we're not going to get into that. So anyway, the Hebrews said anything that is covered with flies is ruled by Beelzebub. And that filtered down to us to say anyone that's associated with Beelzebub is evil and demonic. And when you think about it, what is feces? It's the part of your body that your body wants. It's the food that is wasted. You want to get rid of. It's the filth. The rotten bodies are disgusting. They're filth. And if you spend a lot of time around that, it messes up your mind. It makes you sick. It's bad for life. And so demonic forces are associated with uncleanliness, with filth. And so again, now, if you have a compost heap or manure that is maturing so you can use it in the garden, that's different. That's a different application of filth. But overall, it's demonic, okay? It's associated with disharmony, which is clutter. It's anti-life. It leads to mental illness. Oh, and it is chaotic. A dirty, filthy life is a demonstration of demonic possession or a demonic attack, okay? And it just smells. So anytime you're around a person that hasn't washed or something like that, and you can smell them, they are possessed by a demon or they're under a demonic attack. And there are actually people that can wash their body all they want and they're still disgustingly dirty. They still smell bad. That's a demonic possession. So keep that in mind. So that is what filth and all that stuff is demonic. Okay. Get on to number 3. So how do you overcome the demon possession of filth? Well, number 1, the first thing is to clean up. Just clean up. Take a shower. Take a day to clean your room, clean your house, do some spring cleaning. That will get rid of the demon of filth. And you'll notice that the rest of your life will get better just by cleaning up. Even if, like, for me, I have a storage unit and I keep everything like very organized and stuff like that, but I still had these receipts and papers and it's disgusting. I don't fucking need them. This is the 21st century. Everything's on my phone. I don't need that shit. Just like bottle it up, tear it up, throw it in the trash, get rid of it. Don't think about it anymore, right? And so let's see if this is worth my phone. I mean, that's why I always think about like maybe I shouldn't use profanity and stuff like that. But then I'm like, you know what? It's an expression. It's getting something off my chest. I guess when I'm not that mad, I don't use that much profanity. Me, I'm mad all the time. All right. So anyway, that's the first thing. Clean up your life little by little. If you just stink as a person, develop a better hygienic practice. You may need to shower twice a day. You may need to shave all the parts of your body that smell worse than others. It's not just smell. It's about accumulation of putrefying, nasty stuff, sebaceous gland excretions, dead skin cells, other excretions from the body, right? You got to clean that off yourself. And if you don't have the ability to do that, like, let me not talk about it. Yeah, I'm going to fucking talk about it. I don't give a shit. Um, One thing I can say is I hate more than anything else is going to a motherfucking Safeway bathroom. Not all of them, by the way. There's some that are very clean. And I know which ones as I go to those if I go shopping. But go into a bathroom and it's just almost like just men are disgusting. It's like they don't hit the toilet, and if they don't, I mean, they hit the toilet instead of peeing right in the middle. And if they miss the toilet, they just leave it there. They don't clean up after themselves. If you're one of those guys, unsubscribe from my channel immediately. You're not an Apex human. You'll never be an Apex human. Get that shit fucking fixed, and then come back. All right. Also, check out www.apexhumanity.org because on there I have a new page, and it talks about the Apex human lifestyle. And it talks about what groups of people are not allowed to be Apex people. So if you belong to any of those groups, I'm sorry. You're not Apex. So anyway, that's the first thing. Clean up. So if your life is shitty and dirty and nasty, just fucking clean it up. And look, you don't have to be perfect or perfect. You just got to get it together. All right? I'm just going to be fucking myself on this video. If I have 0 people watching, I don't give a fuck. All right. Second thing is meditate. Cleanse the mind. Maybe I need to do some of that. I do 14-minute cold plunges, so I don't know. Ice plunges. All right. So meditate. It's just focusing on a mantra. Focusing on one thing. Yeah, just focus on a mantra. Find a mantra that help because let me just say this and get on to the next point. Meditating is like just focusing your energy on something. If you get distracted, just pull your energy back. It's not a big deal. Just pull your energy back. All that does is it teaches your mind to rearrange itself. And what happens is you start to get focused in, you get cleaned up, and it's just like if you have an attic full of boxes that you've been accumulating for 15, 20 years, whatever, 5 years, even a year. You go up there, you clean out the attic. There's a spirit of like, there's something changes in your life. You feel better. You just feel better. Also, meditating helps you to deal with all of those old thoughts. Forgiving people is a way of cleansing your mind, cleaning things up. Like if you're holding old grudges against people that have hurt you, or resentments, or fears, or things like that, or trauma, then you can go through your mind with meditation. You can fix that. So meditating is the second way to clean up your life. Remove the demon of filth. And then last but not least is prayer. And I'm not talking about the bitch ass prayer of getting on your knees and filleting a sycophantic sky phantom. I'm talking about the kind of prayer that Jesus advocated in Mark 11:24 and 25. How could he say those things and then what was it? How can you say those things and then quote the Bible? Because the Bible's a pagan compilation. All right. Prayer. So that just means saying, okay, these are the things that I'm asking for. You want to ask for cleanliness. Lord, show me how to clean up my life. Thank you. Next. And know that it's going to happen. And it'll happen. Like, little by little, you'll find, okay, yeah. For some reason, I can't hold on to filth. I can't hold on to shit. I can't hold on to crap. I have to pick it up. I have to clean it up. I have to get it out of here, right? So it'll just all come together. So anyway, I just wanted to put a video out. I've been doing it every single day. I'm one of those people that goes balls to the walls. And I just realized what that actually means. All the time, I always would image like, what is that game? Balls, dodgeball. When you throw a ball at somebody, boom, boom, boom. And I was thinking you throw the ball hard enough, it hits the wall. And in my mind, that was always there. And then now I thought of like it just came. No, balls to the walls is a sexual term. And I think little vestiges of that were in my mind in the past, but I didn't. Now I got that. Now I see why. I'm gonna stop saying that. Just because I think it's, I don't know. I find sex disgusting sometimes. Just because. All right. Not that it is. Not that it is. I'm just saying. Sometimes I feel like it is. Because you're dealing with women. All right. So that's what I can say about that. I think this subject matter is fucking exhausted. All right. We're gonna go on. Next one we're gonna talk about. What are we gonna talk about next? I mean, when I cut these up, people watch them because they don't hear me using a lot of profanity, and then what I'm saying is not as offensive. Wish people didn't have such small, cunty brains. All right, pick your identity. That's the next one. Have a good fucking life.